Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mataji, please record what we did last time.
Hare Krishna. We did 8.16.56 to 8.16.58. Yagna, Dan, and Tapa is necessary in order to have the Lord in our lives. Visiting the temple, taking darshan of the deities, hearing kirtans, and eating prasadam increases our security, and eventually our bhakti will develop. Jagannath is the god of Kali Yuga. The prasadam of Jagannath Puri is Anna Brahma and is important. The yatra is incomplete without eating the prasadam at Puri. Bhagavatam stresses the importance of feeding prasadam to everyone and its effect on bhakti. ISKCON is following the Bhagavatam and feeding free prasadam to millions of people. Deity worship is important and one of the 5 items of devotion mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. It develops a relation with God. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that 3 things are important in any program: Harinam, book distribution, and prasadam. Bhajan and Bhojan are inversely proportional. When Bhajan increases, Bhojan decreases. By eating prasadam, taste for material enjoyment reduces and consciousness gets purified. By getting higher taste, the lower taste get reduced. The remnants of the food eaten by the Lord is prasadam. Devotees must be very careful with prasadam and garlands of the Lord and take care not to offend them. In house programs, food must be cooked by devotees and served by the devotees, or it should come from the temple. There should be kirtan, katha, dancing and chanting of mantras, singing of bhajans and prasadam distribution. 2 things are important in our life: our own sadhana and blessings of Vaishnavas. Kashyap Muni had heard the instructions of Payovrata from his grandfather Brahmaji, who's coming in the line of Guru Parampara. So he gave these instructions to Aditi. We must give instructions not by our mental concoction, but only by Guru Parampara. Then the blessings flow and the potency of that instruction starts playing its effect. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram. So Canto 8, Chapter 16, Slok number 58. Please take out everybody. 59. We can start reciting the shloka number, text number 59. Yes, Mataji, please read.
Canto 8, chapter 16, verse 59. Tvam chanena mahabhage samyak chirnena keshavam atmana shuddha bhavena niyat atma bhaja avyayam. You also, Anena, by this process, Mahabhage, O greatly fortunate one, Samyak Chirnena, execute properly, Keshavam, unto Lord Keshava, Atmana, by oneself, Shuddha Bhavena, in a pure state of mind, Niyata Atma, controlling oneself, Bhaja, go on worshipping, Avyayam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is inexhaustible.
So in this shloka, if you see, Samyak Chirena, execute properly. What is the word that is used? Properly. Chirena matlab long. Properly you should execute in a long. Chir matlab long. Actually it is. Then who? Unto Keshava. Keshavena. We have to, and if you see one word that we use in Bhagavad Gita also, the Lord says, Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Ye Janaha Paryupas. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. If you remember me, that's okay. But the word that is used is Paryu Upasate. Upasate. What is the meaning of Upa? Upa means near. Asate means who stays near the Lord. Or who does the Upasana very properly. Paryu Upasate. So here also, whenever we do the seva of puja of the Lord, as we have discussed past, it should be in the line of Guru Parampara system and it should be without any offenses. We know there are how many offenses? Nam aparad is there, Seva aparad is there, Vaishnava aparad is there, and we should try to avoid this aparad. And here the word that is used is Shuddha Bhavena. The word that is used is what?
Shuddha Bhavena.
Bhavena Shuddha. Bhavana we know is of three types. Rajogun, Tamogun, and Satogun. And Shuddha Bhavena means Shuddha Sattva. So try to be in a mood of Shuddha Sattva Gun and try to do the Bhakti. Shuddha Sattva Gun Bhakti means you do not accept anything from the Lord, but you want to give to the Lord. That is called Shuddha Bhav, where you do not want anything or something from the Lord in return, but you want to serve and love the Lord. That is Shuddha Bhavena. Huh? So with that mood, I think that this sound is coming little bit. No. Easing is good. Please try to see that. Easing is. There is some. Very good. Please switch off. Shuddha Bhavena. Hare Krishna. It's okay? Okay. So we can use this. So Shuddha Bhava, we should understand there are three bhavas. Rajogun Bhav, Tamogun Bhav, and Satogun Bhav. In Rajogun Bhav, when you do bhakti, you always want something in return from the Lord or any person. That is not Shuddha Bhava. In Tamogun Bhav, the bhavana is always to destroy others. You are cheater in that bhav. Piche kuch destruction is going on, but that bhav is not Shuddha. The Shuddha bhav, what here we are talking about, is Shuddha Sattvic bhav, where you want to only serve and love without any expectation. So many words are used over here. Samyak Chirena, and here specifically the word is used Keshava, whom you should be worshipping, Lord Keshava. It is said that the bhakti or the worship, Lord always says that if you pour the water to the roots, ultimately all the trees, all the branches will get satisfied. So Lord Keshava, Lord Krishna, is the root of all the Devi Devatas. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam utha bhava. Name vidu surganaha prabhavam na maharishaya. Aham adirhi devana maharishinam. I am the source of all the demigods, all the rishis. They come from me. So when you serve the Lord Krishna and do, then all the Devi Devatas, they get satisfied automatically. So here the word that is used is Samyak Chirena Keshavam Atmana Shuddha Bhavena. Then the word that is used over here is Niyat Atmana, controlling Niyat. Yam and Niyam. There are two words in yoga. Yam and Niyam. Yam means what? To control. And Niyam means to follow certain rules and regulations. Yam means to Yamraj, what we call Yamraj. He is the controller of the death. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyana, Dharana, Samadhi. In the Patanjali yoga system, these 8 systems are there. Yam, Niyam, Asan. Huh? So here the word that is used, Niyat Atmavi, controlling oneself. So whenever the puja is done, a sense should be under control. If it is not control, man kidhar aur hai, seva kidhar aur ho rahi hai, to you will not be getting the proper result. And that's why we always say bhakti starts with chanting and ends with chanting. And in between, also the chanting should go on. You know, when gopis used to do the seva, they used to do seva very nicely. But their minds used to be always in remembrance of what Lord is doing in the forest, what He's speaking, what He is doing. If you see the Vedugi, if you see the, Gopi Geet, if you see the Brahmaratri, it is always about what Lord is doing. They are talking in Matachitta, Matagatta, Prana, Bodhayate, Paraspara. What they are talking amongst themselves about Lord Krishna. So that is proper pure bhakti. So here, Niyat Atmavi, Bhaja, Avyayam, and whom she should worship, Bhaja, Avyayam. So again and again, Bhagavatam, each and every word, when we read, it ultimately speaks about pure devotional service. What it speaks about? Pure devotional service. So here, we know Aditi, Kashyap Muni, is engaging her in pure devotional service by which Lord as a Vaman Dev will appear in front of him. Because she is in distress. But why she is in distress? Because Lord, has arranged all these things. Because Lord has to come in the form of Vaman Dev and glorify Bali Maharaj. He wants to glorify Bali Maharaj. And that's why this is a Leela. And Lord also wants to fulfill the promise that He had given, that I will appear 3 times. The promise that was given, Krishna Garbha, Vamana, and Lord Krishna. For 12,000 years, the tapasya, what they had done, their fall had to be given. Huh? Upendra is Vaman. Upendra, there are many names of Vaman Dev. One of the name is Upendra. Brother Upa Indra. What is the meaning of Upasabhapati? We say na? Sabhapati and Upasabhapati means deputy. What is? तो उप इंद्र इंद्र का जो उप है मतलब डेपिड so that is why his name is Upendra. Okay, so read the translation, Mataji.
O most fortunate lady, establishing your mind in a good spirit, execute this process of Payovrata and thus worship the Supreme.
See, it is not about Payovrata. It is for every vrata, this type of things have to be done. And that's why Srila Prabhupada, he didn't made, he made bhakti as a way of your daily life. What he made? He made a bhakti as a way of your daily life. He taught, because we know there are 3 stages in bhakti, in the spiritual life. One is Sambandha Gyan. What is? Who we are, constitutional position. What is Lord's position with us? Sambandha. Who has created us? Another is Prayojan, the last. But that is to achieve the Lord and love of God and go back to the spiritual world. But the process, there are very, very, very few acharyas who have given a complete package process how to establish your relationship and achieve the goal of the human life. That is to go back to the spiritual world. And that's Srila Prabhupada did. Our entire life, Srila Prabhupada made as a vrata. Getting up in the morning is what? Is a vrata. Chanting of the holy name is a vrata. Doing the Mangalarti, it's a vrata. And all this comes in the, I request everybody to switch off like my phone. You know, in one of our classes, Reti Raman Prabhu, he says that मोबाइल बजा हूँ जिसका भी मतलब बहुत अच्छा उसको पूरे क्लास को समोसा खिलाना या स्पॉन्सर करना चाहिए प्रसाद ओके सो व्हाट आई वाज सेइंग Abhidhe, the process. Srila Prabhupada gave us a process where our entire life, you know, can get connected from the Sambandh. You know, many people can say, you are not the body, you are the soul. Very good things they can speak. But how to implement that good things in your practical day-to-day life? It's not easy because we have a nature. Everybody has some nature. And to change that nature, it's very difficult. So basically, you know, the Prabhupada changed the nature of the hippies. Hippies mean total rotten people, impossible people. How to change their nature and bring to the level of pure goodness? How did he make that? He made by prayers. He personally was praying to the Lord, and he gave the process also. What? Please chant. I was listening to the Prahlad Maharaj now stories were going on. That when Mother Kayadu was taken by Naraji to the ashram, you know, Indra came because he wanted to kill Kayadu and kill the Garbha, but Naraji appeared. And what did Naraji told? No, you cannot kill him because he's a Mahabhagavata. And then after listening from them, they did the parikrama of Kayadu. And Kayadu came over there. Kayadu very lovingly stayed up in the ashram of Naradji up to the point where Hiranyakashipu was doing tapas. So in that time, you know, now Prahlad Maharaj is telling this to the children. Because the children were saying, how did you got this knowledge about the Lord? Where did you got this knowledge? We have never seen Vishnu, or we have never heard what you are saying, all these things. But how is this possible that you got this knowledge? Then he's saying that, you know, when Naradji took my mother served Naradji in the ashram very nicely. What? Very nicely. She was doing also seva over there. And because she wanted the protection of the child, that's why she was serving there very nicely. And Naradji also was giving the Bhagavatam. But very long time she stayed over there because the tapasya went for very long time it went over there. So what the problem was happened due to the time duration, Naraji is saying, my mother forgot. She forgot everything. But Naraji gave me blessings. Kya diya? Blessings. And that's what I was able to remember. So what is the lesson that we learn? Blessings are Vaishnavas and prayers of that blessings are required to so that you can remember. तो आपको भी याद नहीं रहने वाला. Somebody has to bless you and pray for you. Then only you will be able to remember. Otherwise, same thing was heard by the mother also. But he was able to remember. He says, because Naraji gave me special blessing. That's why even today I am able to remember and I am able to see the same as it is word as yours. Same Srila Prabhupada was praying for this peace. He was praying for it. And that's why when they started the process, the purification happened. And this is how the purification, somebody has to pray for you. We always say bhakti means you, there are two parts, your effort and somebody has to push. Blessings are required. Then only you can move forward in the spiritual life. Otherwise, it's impossible on your own. How much you study. Matirna Krishna Paratova Satova. You know, when Narad, when next time, first time when Hiranyakashipu heard, what is the best thing? So, Prahlad told simply that I think so. This household life is a andhakupa. What is it? Hitva andhakupa. And sada samukta. Yeah. Whoever is in this andhakup, their, intelligence is always burning. The heart is always burning in this fire. So it's better we should leave this and go in Vrindavan. And I request you to do bhajan of Vasudeva. So he was laughing. Who? Shunned and hammered. What are you teaching him? What is telling? क्या पढ़ा रहे हो उसको? बोलते हमने नहीं पढ़ा है. बोलते तो कोई ना कोई वैष्णव आया होगा. बोलते वैष्णव है ना छुप छुप के ड्रेस बदली करके आते बोलते. क्या? They come in Chandavesh. The word that is used by, so please protect my child and tell him who is God? I am God. Teach him about. So next time when he went over there and Naradji, then Chandan number took the child and then very nicely, they were telling Prahlad, please tell what happened. How did this is happening to you? And then he is telling, the Maya of the Lord is so great and he is glorifying the Lord. He is sitting in your heart and my heart. That person who is making all this thing, he is making, I'm getting attracted like the magnet gets attracted towards iron. Similarly, I'm naturally getting attracted to him. I do not know why. And listening to that, they started fighting him and shouting him. And they again started teaching him. And they started learning again. And after that, when next time, again, when he came to Hiranyakashipu, and next time Hiranyakashipu was touching, crying, the tears started flowing, he was kissing. Who? And then saying, please tell me what is? Learn the best. And then he says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Asyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. You should do this. Ninefold bhakti. What is saying? Prahlad. And again he started shouting on Shandanamar. You fool! You say, जो पाप करता है ना, वो पाप दिखाई पड़ जाता है उसके रोग के हिसाब से. क्या बोलते हैं? अगर शरीर में रोग आता है ना, तो उसका मतलब उसने पहले जन्म में या कुछ तो कुछ पाप किया है, इसीलिए वो पाप उसको रोग के रूप में दिखाई पड़ता है. वैसे तुम्हारा पाप दिखाई पड़ रहा है यहाँ पे. क्या पाप? क्या आपका टीचिंग्स क्या देते हो आप? And he started shouting and lambasting, and they were frightening and says, it is not by us, not by anybody, it is happening naturally to him. What is saying? It is naturally he's getting attracted. And I do not know how. And then he says, then Hiranyakashipu is asking to Prahlad, how come this is naturally happening to him? And that time, Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad says, no, I will tell you how it doesn't happen first. Naturally. He says, Matihina Krishna Parato Svatova. It is not by our own or by others. Adanta Gobhi Vishatam Tramishram, whose senses are not in control. They are chewing the chew. For such people, if they come together or by their own effort, if they try to engage their senses in bhakti, in Lord, it is not possible for them. Because their senses, they are chewing the millions of life. We have repeated again and again the same sense gratification. We are doing the same sense gratification throughout millions and millions of lives. Puna, charmita charvana. And Adanta Gobhi, our senses are uncontrolled. Name vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Then second shlok, Prahlad Maharaj says, Name vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. That they people do not know the swartha. What is the real swartha of the jeev? Name vidu gatim swartha gatim hi Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the real swartha of the jiva. They do not know. Durashraya bahi arthamanina. What they are doing? They think that the bahi artha, the things which are outside, they are real. But they do not understand Lord Vishnu is the real swartha of the jiva. Andha yathe andhe upaniyamana. One blind is guiding another blind person. What do you say? एक अंधा दूसरे अंधे को रास्ता दिखा. प्रहलाद महाराज से इन लैब्स में बैठ के किसको एक अंधा वो है एक अंधा आप हो और दोनों रास्ता बता रहे. बोलते अभी ये 2 श्लोक में बता दिया कि ऐसे लोगों की मति कभी भी कृष्ण में भक्ति में कभी भी नहीं लग सकती क्योंकि अजानत वो भी their senses are not in control and they are chewing the chew and they do not know what is the real purpose or real goal of life because of the different mentalities people have. Ignorance mentality, the goal is destroy. Passionate mentality, money, power, fame, status. Goodness mentality, do good for the people. But the real swartha of the Jivatma is Vishnu. That is what Prahlad Maharaj is saying to Hiranyakashipu. And he says, blind people follow blind people. And what is ultimately going to happen? Khadde mein jaane wale. Huh? So the entire society today is followed. People are blind and they are following the blind. Blind in sense they do not have the real spiritual knowledge. The spirit and the body, they both are different. The requirement is different. They do not know. They do not know. And ultimately, what is happening? Prahlad Maharaj is saying that ultimately they are caught bound into the karma bandhana very strongly. And then in the third verse he's saying, how it is possible? It is only possible when आप भक्तों के चरणों में लोट के उनके धूल लगा के उनकी सेवा करते हो और उनसे आशीर्वाद पाते हो तब भगवान में मति लगती है. This is the what he told to Hiran. And then he immediately threw it. क्या बोल रहे and kill him. What is told? And it is said that so much things were done. There are elephants in the universe who balance the universe balance. They were called on the order of and to smash it. What happened? But as they tried to smash, they felt so hot that they ran away. First they tried, and then it is said, then the snakes were caught, big snakes, whose fame, just like Kalia fame, the big snakes were called, whose only, the point, not to speak about, but if this only exam, by that only they die. So they were made to, put so many times fight this Prahlad Maharaj. They actually fainted. They fainted, but they did not do anything to Prahlad Maharaj. Yes. And then Shandarmar, in the Vishnu Purana it is coming, Shandarmar were told to Utpanat, like, this one, Apna, in Amrish Maharaj Katha, like Durvasa created, the Katya, that. Similarly, Shandarmar, it came in the Vishnu Purana that he told to create a Kritya, Daitya, to kill him. to whom? But when it went over there, he was not able to do anything. And then she came back because it is said if they are not able to kill the person who is created, they kill them. So they came back and they killed Shandamark. And Shandamark died. It is Prahlad Maharaj, then he came and he was crying. This story comes in the Vishnu Purana. And he prayed to Lord that they are my Guru. Please save them. They have not done anything wrong. And then when the drops fell, he got up again. Shandamark. Then he was put into the fire. You know, Olika. He was put into gas chamber. Like the gas was done and put in the gas chamber for days and days. But when he used to come, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Then he was put, in the cave, blocked for days and days without food. With the then also he came outside, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Then he was put into the sea, drowned for many days. But when he came out, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It was so frustrating for Hiranyakashipu. What to do? How to kill this guy? And ultimately it is said he got so much frustrated that I am doing everything to kill him. And he is not getting frustrated. I am getting frustrated. What? So what I am trying to say, the power of bhakti, the power of akarma, the power of the holy name, that he received the instruction from Naradji. Prahlad Maharaj got the instruction from Naradji. Why? Because of blessings. So blessings work. So the practical thing that Abhideya, we are coming to the point, Abhideya process. In all the Abhideya, what we have done, Srila Prabhupada has made our life in such a way that our entire life we are practicing akarma. What we are doing? Akarma. Getting up early in the morning, doing Mangala Aarti, chanting the holy name, Narsinga Pranam, Tulasi Arati, all these are part of the process which are reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, serving the Lord, keeping the Lord in the center in your house, eh? Offering with love and devotion on all these things. This he has made as a way of life. And when we see the Shastra in any vrata, these are very, very compulsory things. And that's why when we are reading, we have to match what happened in the Shastra. And is it relevant today? Yes, this is relevant because Srila Prabhupada has taught the same thing what is there in the Shastra. Here it is said that na chirena means we should execute it properly. Then it should be Keshavam. Then it should be Shuddha Bhavena. Then it should be controlling the senses. Then it should be done towards the Lord. So all are the same things which Srila Prabhupada has taught us in his book. And that we are trying to follow in a Guru Parampara system. Okay, read the second verse. Text 60, we'll read.
Ayam vai sarva yajnakhya
Ayam Vaiva Sarvya Yakyakya
sarva vratam iti smritam
Sarva Vratam Iti Sitam Tapam Saram Idam Bhatre
Shesvara tarpanam.
Dhanam Chetasva Arpanam.
Ayam is why indeed. Sarva yajna, all kinds of religious rituals and sacrifices. Akhya called Sarva Vritam, all religious ceremonies. Iti thus, Vritam understood. Tapa Saram, the essence of all austerity. Idam this, Bhadre, O good lady. Danam, acts of charity. Cho and Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karpanam, the process of pleasing. Translation.
This Payovrata is also known as Sarva Yagya. In other words, by performing this sacrifice, one can perform all other sacrifices automatically. This is also acknowledged to be the best of all ritualistic ceremonies. O gentle lady, it is the essence of all austerities, and it is the process of giving charity and pleasing the supreme controller.
Read the purport.
Aradhanam, Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam Param. This is a statement made by Lord Shiva to Parvati.
You know, this statement comes in Padma Purana, where Aradhana means the worship. सबसे best worship कौन सा है? Who is asking? Parvati is asking to Shiva. So this is the word that Shivji is using. Aradhanam Sarvesham, of all the worships. Vishnu Aradhanam Param. The topmost is Vishnu. Lord Krishna's Aradhana is the topmost of all the Aradhana. This is the statement of Lord Shivji to Mother. Please read.
Worshipping Lord Vishnu is the supreme process of worship. And how Lord Vishnu is worshipped in this Payovrata ceremony has now been fully described. The ultimate goal of life is to please Lord Vishnu by Varnashram.
Yes, we know this. We read these shlokas every day. Save kunsa paro dharma yator bhakti adokshaj ahayutagi apati bhata. Ye atma sukrasijan. And one other shlok is there, which says that Shrama eva hi kevala.
No, Varnashrama Vibhagashrama.
That Swanishkita Haritosha Athatamni Puja Shreshka Varna Shrama Vibhagashan San Siddhi Hari. So what is the goal of the Varnashrama Dharma? Brahmana. What is the Varna and Ashrama? There are 4 ashramas. Which are the 4 ashramas? Grahastha ashram. Then Brahmacharya ashram. Then Vanprastha ashram. And Sannyasa ashram. And Varna, Brahman, Kshatriya. So that is called Varnashrama Dharma. So, and all this Dharma of all the main aim is to please the Lord. And if Lord is not pleased, then following this Dharma is useless. Shrama eva hi kevalam. It will be waste if by this, if the love for the Lord is not, if you are following Dharma, and if you are not able to revive the love for Lord, then your following of that Dharma is useless. Okay.
The ultimate goal of life is to please Lord Vishnu by Varnashram Dharma. The Vedic principles of 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas are meant for worship of Vishnu. Vishnu Aradhyate Pumsam Nanya Tatosha Karana. The Krishna consciousness movement is also Vishnu Aradhanam, or worship of Lord Vishnu, according to the age. The Payovrat method of Vishnu Aradhanam was enunciated long ago by Kashyap Muni to his wife Aditi in the heavenly planets. And the same process is followed.
Very nicely, Srila Prabhupada. What we told, that it is the same, what we are following is the same, and that is what Srila Prabhupada is saying over here.
The process accepted by the Krishna consciousness movement is to open hundreds and thousands of Vishnu temples, temples of Radha Krishna, Jagannath, Balram, Sitaram, Gaurika, and so on, performing prescribed worship in such temples of Vishnu, and thus worshipping the Lord is as good as performing the Payograt ceremony recommended.
Yes. So you don't have to do separate Payodhara Vata. Only follow what Srila Prabhupada has told, and your life is like a Vrata only.
The Payograt ceremony is performed from the 1st to the 13th day of the bright fortnight of the moon. But in our Krishna consciousness movement, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in every temple according to a schedule of
24-hour engagement. It is not only 15 days engagement. Our Vrata is what? 24 hours.
engagement in performing Kirtana, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, offering palatable food to Lord Vishnu, and distributing this food to Vaishnavas and others. These are authorized activities, and if the members of the Krishna consciousness movement stick to these principles, they will achieve the same result one gains by observing the Payovrata ceremony.
So after Payovrata, what happened? Lord appeared. So when you follow the instruction of Guru Parampara, Lord will appear in your life, in your heart, and in your house. Huh? And ultimately, you will go back to the spiritual world.
Thus, the essence of all auspicious activities, such as performing yajna, giving in charity, observing vratas,
And undergoing.
undergoing austerities, is included in the Krishna consciousness movement. The members of this movement should immediately and sincerely follow the processes already recommended. Of course, sacrifice is meant to please Lord Vishnu. Yagne Sankirtana Praye Yajanti hi Sumedasa. In Kali Yuga, those who are intelligent perform the Sankirtan Yagya. One should follow this process conscientiously.
Conscientious, sorry.
Conscientiously.
So, what is the yajna that we have to perform? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so we can now go to text number 61. Yes, Maharaj Prabhuji.
स एव नियमः साक्षात्
स एव नियमः साक्षात्
एव च यमोत्तमः
स एव च यमोत्तमः
अपोदानं व्रतं यज्ञो
तपोदानं व्रतं यज्ञं
तुष्यति अदोक्षजः
येन तुष्यति. Very, very important word. Tapo danam vratam yajna. Yena tushyati adhokshaya. If we want to satisfy the Lord, or tushyate. So what we have to do? He says tapa. Then dana. Yajna dana tapa. Na triyam tyajate. Lord also says in the Bhagavad Gita, three things everybody has to do in their life. What is that? Yajna, dan, and Lord says three things you do not have to do in your life. Kama, krodha, and. But the problem is that people only want to satisfy themselves and their body and their family. And Prahlad Maharaj says, when he's teaching to the children over there, that everybody is trying for sense gratification. Everybody wants to become happy. But they fail to understand that भाग्य में ऐसे बहुत सारी चीज है, सुख जो लिखा है वो नहीं भी प्रयास करो तो आ जाएगा. जैसे कि नहीं चाहते हुए भी दुख आ जाता है. कितने लोग दुख के लिए प्रयास करते हैं कि मुझे मैं बीमार हो जाऊं, आज मेरे नुकसान हो जावे, आज कोई परेशानी नहीं, लेकिन नहीं चाहते हुए भी प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाते हैं. वैसे ही नहीं चाहते हुए भी आपके भाग्य में जो सुख है वो आपको मिलने वाला है, मिलके रहे. That's why Prahlad Maharaj says, effort should not be made. Whatever the energies we have, he says that 100 life है. For the people who are not in sense gratification, मतलब not their control sense नहीं है. 50% of the life goes in sleeping. आधा जीवन किसमें जाता है? 12 घंटा. 24 घंटे में से 12 घंटा सोने आराम में चले जाता है. So 50% of the life is gone. Then he says for 50% active life में starting at 10 years of the life, what happens? Childhood. खेलने में चले जाएंगे. He is not knowing what is the goal. And the old age, after 80, up to 100, वो तो bonus round चलता है. कलयुग में 60 to 80 हो गया. कि भाई the body value goes down, and बाद में you think more about body, fixing the body. क्या है? कि body ठीक रहेगा. So Prahlad Maharaj says that starting 10 years and last 20 years, They also, and the middle, he says, जो भी बचा है वो पैसे कमाने में, स्टेटस कमाने में, घर गृहस्थी पालन करने में चले जाए. So where is the actual purpose of the human life? Small 5-year child is teaching other children in the asura family. कि भाई ये क्या करना है? And then he speaks about the family life. How family life is so, dangerous, he says. Because it is very, very difficult to get out of, वो totally बच्चों के जो बोलते हैं, घर की जो अटैचमेंट रहती है, पत्नी के अटैचमेंट, गाड़ी, घोड़ा, इसमें से बाहर निकलना very, very मुश्किल है बोलते हैं. Who is saying? Prahlad Maharaj? Yes. It's very difficult. You cannot get out of that attachment. And the purpose of the human life is defeated. The purpose is to go back to the spiritual world. The purpose is to somehow use this life for service of Lord. And that purpose is completely defeated. And he says that very, very short time we get this human body. Very short time. And in that short time, if you do not try to achieve the goal for which this human body is achieved, to self-realize, to achieve, to revive the love of God, that is what is this life is meant for. Then this entire life is a waste. Because according to your bhagya, आपको जितना सुख मिलने वाला मिलने वाला ही है, और आपका दुख भी पहले से डिजाइन करके आ गया है. So you cannot, उसमें कम ज्यादा तुम नहीं कष्ट करने वाले. That is what Prahlad Maharaj is teaching. 5 साल का बच्चा बैठा के, और जब शरण बंद नहीं थे तब उस टाइम, the teachers were not there. That time he is speaking this language. And then he started the 3-day Bhagavad Gita class over there. There are, 3 types of body: outer body, spirit body, soul body. And we should try to minus, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, I'm not this, hand, I'm not this. And we should try to separate ourselves. And he's giving that 3-day Bhagavad Gita course to them. And trying to teach them that we are not the body, we are spirit, soul. And I was just seeing that, how, and Prahlad Maharaj also, when Narasimhadev appeared, and everybody was afraid, except Prahlad Maharaj. And he told that everybody is afraid. And they are afraid why? Because everywhere, the Ugram, Veeram, Mahavishnu, so much blood is there. You are wearing the intestine of Hiranyakashipu. The intestine is wearing as the mala. And everywhere the blood is there. Anger is there. And Brahma ji is hiding. Mata Lakshmi ji is saying, everybody is telling Lakshmi ji, aap jaake jara बोलते हैं हमारे पति ऐसे ही हैं. मैंने पहली बार मेरे पति को इस रूप में देखा हूं. So she is also hiding. And then everybody is then keeping Prahlad Maharaj, aap jao, shant kar. And that time Prahlad Maharaj says, I'm not afraid of this, but I'm only afraid of one thing. Sansara Chakra. What? Because of my Swakarma, I am caught in the Karma Bandhana so badly that I am grinding in this Karma Chakra for billions and millions and millions of years. Somehow I should be afraid of this Chakra. And I want to stay in this material world. What he says? There are many so-called sadhus who want to go in the forest and in the Himalayas and they want to do apna bhala. But I want to stay over here. And those foolish people who have forgotten your bhakti, I want to revive them and give them bhakti. Unless and until they do not come back, I am not interested in coming back. So that is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. That is the mood of our Guru Parampara. Of what? Preaching. Preaching is the mood of ISKCON. Of in the line of Prabhupada. That we want to not do our bhajan, but we want to save others. If that had not happened, ISKCON would have not flourished. Srila Prabhupada would be very happy living in the Vrindavan. in his cottage over there. At the age of 70, it was not necessary to go to US with 3 heart attacks. Huh? It was not necessary that if he had not returned, he would have every day in the night, 1 o'clock, he used to get up. And after getting up, he used to do all these translations. What we are reading now. If he had not done this translation, मेरे ख्याल से भागवत का ऐसा translation you won't get anywhere. You will get Bhagavat, you will get shlokas, but the purport of the Guru Parampara, what we are discussing today, which invokes, bhakti, would had not come to us. Huh? So the treasure, what Srila Prabhupada has given for the coming 10,000 years of generation is uncomparable. How many people in future also, when they go, their life will change. They will get diverted towards the Lord. They will get out of this, the mud miseries of the material world and get out. We do not know how many people will get liberated by this Vani. But he had done the tapasya of getting up at 1 o'clock at the old age, sitting down with the dictaphone and translating and reading. So this is the mood of Srila Prabhupada. This is the mood of, Prahlad Maharaj. This is the mood of Mahaprabhu. Yes.
Our own translation.
Yes. So this is the mood of ISKCON. Preach. What? Or preaching में it is not easy. घर में अपनी भक्ति करोगे तो बहुत easy है. बोलते हैं गाड़ी घर पे रख दो तो अच्छी बात है. एक्सीडेंट ही नहीं होगा. लेकिन घर में रखने के लिए गाड़ी नहीं होती. The car is not meant to be kept at home. See, one has to understand. Preaching cannot be done without the blessings.
Yes.
Very good. Oh, बोलते हैं ना, गूंगा बोलने लगता है. मुकम करोति वाचालम पंगुम लंघयते गिरि. यत् कृपा तब बंदे. So many people went to West. But why was Srila Prabhupada only successful? Bhaktistan Saraswati Maharaj, उसके पहले भी, Prabhupada says in his books that my godmother went to UK and they tried to preach over there and they tried to change them to follow 4 regulative principles. वो लोग बोले कि दारू तो हम कभी नहीं छोड़ेंगे, हमारा वो तो staple food है. मतलब wine is like यहाँ जैसे चाय है ना, वैसे वहाँ वाइन है. वहाँ पे चाय मतलब everything starts with wine. और घर के आगे भी लिखा रहता है, if you have brought wine, you are welcome. उन लोग उसमें लिखा है, have you brought the bottle of wine?
Yes.
So that is the culture. But in that culture, to change, impossible. But how it was possible? By the blessings. So what I am trying to say, blessings works. In this preaching, if you go on your own preaching, not possible. Like if you see Jiva Goswami, he was a scholarly people of his time. He 2 times tried to do his scholarly work, and both times he got punished by Rupa Goswami. Why did you waste time in preaching that person? No, Vallabhacharya was first, and before that one, Digvijay had come.
Correct some grammar.
No. Grammar was next time, but first time he came, one person came. Rupa Goswami was busy in writing. He was a Digvijay, and he went everywhere. No, either you do debate with me on Shastra, or you give in writing. What? I am the winner. So they went to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, and they were busy in the seva, and they wrote, "Aap jeet gaye, ab jao." He went to Jiva Goswami, he was also writing. But he saw that मेरे गुरु का नाम लिख दिया तो अभी बैठो तुम. So how did you dare to go my guru and write? And he started the and debating and 2 दिन में उसको पूरा everything was clean and then उसका बुक फाड़ दिया उसका. क्या बोला? अभी सब पूरा बुक फाड़ दे बोले. So he told up. But when Rupa Goswami came to know that 2 days you wasted in your seva, what did he do? Arguing with that person. Why? That is not our purpose. That is not our life in arguing. Seva is most important. And then next time he corrected Vallabhacharya, where he told what? That mukti bhukti spriya pisachini. Spriya is pisachini. Mukti bhukti spriya. Spriya means
Prishati.
pisachini.
Tavat bhakti sukhasya.
So the word that was used is pisachini. So he, Vallabhacharya understood that mukti and
Mukti is
pisachini. He understood like that. And he told whom? Rupa Goswami to correct it. And who was editing all these things? Rupa Goswami had given the seva of editing to Jiva. So Jiva then felt that how come he told that this is wrong? Then he went and he told, no, it is not the mukti is called as bhutani. It is the desire that we have with us. That is like a bhut.
Desire for mukti.
Desire. So then he understood, oh, I didn't saw this word. And then he told and went, Rupa Goswami, that don't change the shloka, it is right. If this shloka comes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So this comes in. So then again, that time he abandoned. Who?
Jiva Goswami.
He told, now you run from here. You are showing your scholarly level very nicely. I don't want such scholar people. And Jiva Goswami is the only Acharya in the history who has written 4 lakh Sanskrit verses. How many verses?
4 lakh.
Sandarbha, Shat Sandarbha, he has written. He has written all the Bhagavad Sandarbhas. Such a person was thrown away. Rupa Goswami. And then for 1 or 2 months he didn't have eaten anything. Only he was drinking water. And then it was Sanatana Goswami who went and said, "Bhai, tum dunya par daya karte to jeev par bhi daya karo." Then he was called the Jiva again back. So unless and until you do not serve a guru personally, what? As a servant. And then you get the blessings and order. Then only it is possible that you can. Srila Prabhupada, he got order in 1932. Entire 40-50 years went in just implementing that order. Okay.
Yes.
हमारे गुरु महाराज को ऑर्डर मिला था भाई 18 temples, you should be built. So his entire life went in constructing that 18 temples. 50 years he tried to follow that instructions. और कितना झेलना पड़ा गोपाल कृष्ण महाराज को. Handling ISKCON is not a joke. एक ग्रुप को भी हैंडल करना, it's not a joke. There are so many mentalities in one group only. What to speak about ISKCON? So big institution throughout the world. Everywhere, every problem is there. And to keep the flocks together, impossible task. But then also that impossible task, Guru Maharaj was. Why? Because from the first day, Guru Maharaj, he brought as the entire money, what he was earning. He was working as in a very big post. So whatever money he used to bring and give the entire salary to Srila Prabhupada. From that salary, Srila Prabhupada used to give the money back to Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So he told this is a real sannyasi. What is this? So with that type of attitude, such people can bring some change in the society, or such people can actually, do and be successful in the mission. So we learn from all these things that our parampara, what Srila Prabhupada makes in the statement over here, we follow the parampara. The Payodhari Vrata, we are doing this for 24 hours. What are we doing? ISKCON. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. We'll complete this chapter because only one or two shlokas are there.
Translation.
Yes, read the translation.
So, translation to text 61.
Hmm.
This is the best process for pleasing the transcendent supreme personality of Godhead, known as Adokshaja. It is the best of all regulatory principles, the best austerity, the best process of giving charity, and the best process of sacrifice.
So you take the mic, read. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mamikam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Pape Mokshami Mahasubja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Unless one pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to his demand, no good result will come from any of his actions. Dharma Swanishtata Pumsa Vishwaksena Pathasuya.
Now, the
The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of Supreme Personality of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam 1.2.8. If one is not interested in satisfying Lord Vishnu, Vasudeva, all his so-called auspicious activities are fruitless. Mogasa Moga Karmano, Moga Jnana Visheshtaha. Because he's bewildered, he's baffled in his hopes, baffled in his activities, and baffled in his knowledge. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti remarks, Na Napum Sakam Anupam whatever it is. One cannot equate the potent and the impotent. Among modern Mayavadis, it has become fashionable to say that whatever one does or whatever path one follows is all right. But these are all foolish statements. Here it is forcefully affirmed that this is the only method for success in life. Ishvara Tarpanam.
You know, the Mayavadi philosophy is that जो करते हो सब भगवान की तरफ जाता है. क्या करता है? And ultimately what they try to say is that जीव की सेवा करो, लोगों की सेवा करो, तो इससे भगवान की सेवा हो जाती है. There is no need to do separate सेवा of the Lord, because मानव सेवा is मानव सेवा. What? लोगों की सेवा करो, उससे भगवान खुश.
Unless Lord Vishnu is satisfied, all of one's pious activities, ritualistic ceremonies, and yajnas are simply for show and have no value. Unfortunately, foolish people do not know the secret of success. Nate vidu
Swargatim he Vishnu.
Gatim hi Vishnu. They do not know that real self-interest ends in pleasing Lord Vishnu.
People only know about good karmas and bad karmas, but they do not know about akarma. What they do not know? They only speak about good. They only speak about bad. And they want to negate the bad by doing good. But that is not going to happen. That is not the law of karma. No good actions can negate bad actions. I always say, stealing a bank and giving that money to the poor people in the morning will not save you from the police. Huh? The police will come and catch you. The no good karmas will negate the bad karmas. People do not know the act of akarma. That is the problem. What is akarma? They do not know. Yat karoshi, yad ashnashi, yat juhoshi, dadashi yat. Yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva. Give it to me. Shubha, palerevam, mokshayase, karma bandhane. By this, you will be liberated from all your actions. And that is what is Bhagavad Dharma. This is what is called as Bhagavad Dharma. We are keeping Lord in the center. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. This is the last shloka. Huh? One more last shloka and then we can wind up. Yes. Who will read?
तस्मादेताद्वतं भद्रे
तस्मादेताद्व्रतं भद्रे
तायचर
प्रयता श्रद्धयाचर
परितुष्टस्ते
भगवान् परितुष्टते
वर्णासु विधियसाति
वर्णाशु विधियासति. Read the translation, Prabhu. Read the translation.
Therefore, my dear gentle lady, follow this ritualistic vow, strictly observing the regulatory principles. By this process, the Supreme Person will very soon be
Pleased.
pleased with you and will satisfy all your
Desires. So, Payodhi Vrata process is now complete. And now, next time, the Lord will appear. In the next class, we'll try that Lord appears in the Vamandir. And when Lord appears, what happens? How the puja happens and everything, that will start next time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So, what are the takeaway lessons for today? What are the takeaway important lessons for today's class? Blessings are blessings of the Vaishnavas, blessings. Without that, तुम्हारा काम अधूरा. हाँ? और blessings कैसे मिलते हैं? सेवा से. और सेवा कैसे होती है? 3 प्रकार से. शरीर से, मन से और धन से. धन और मन, इससे हमारी सेवा करते हैं भगवान. Okay. What else is the takeaway? Aradhanam sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam para. Of all the Aradhanas which are mentioned, of the worship, the best worship that Shivji says is of Lord Krishna. Yes.
Vidya process of Srila Prabhupada is the same as the Payograt.
Yes. The process which Srila Prabhupada has given is 24-hour process. What is? And if we follow the same result what Payodhi Vrata gave, you will get from the same result. Huh? What else?
Bhakti starts with chanting, ends with chanting.
Bhakti starts with chanting, ends with chanting, and middle also you have to do Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.